Hey, good morning, everybody. It's pretty early in the morning on Monday. You see, I have this little dog here in my lap because somebody told me I have to get her in here at some point because she probably is going to be the one missing me more than anybody else, even the kids. Anyway, it's early in the morning. Today's kind of an important day in the sense that it's literally 2 weeks from today that I'll be departing, and it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot still to do to make sure I've got everything tied up here at home. I still got to take the kids to see their grandma, and that's going to take a couple of days out of the trip or out of the 2 week period. And at this time, 2 weeks from now, I'll be packing up my backpack and getting set to rock and roll on this amazing journey. I didn't post anything yesterday. It was just a quiet day with the kids and time to get some things done and kind of reflect a little bit. I've been doing a lot of that. Sometimes you see me getting emotional, and I apologize. It's just, I guess, 50 years of stuff coming into a head, and I'm really looking forward to getting out on the road and leaving all of me behind a little bit, and getting to meet you folks out there. So right now, again, I'm trying to just let folks know, because I'm asking people to follow me, just who I am. A lot of you know me. Hopefully, a lot of you don't, and I'm going to get to meet you. So I'm not trying to sermonize or anything like that with my topics. This dog's crazy, isn't she? Anyway, the one thing I want to talk about a little bit today, over the weekend, I met some folks. Again, some really nice, supportive folks. A couple of haters this weekend, but I wanted to talk about politics. It's so polarizing right now in our country, and I've never been. I guess the best thing I'd say about my theory on politics is I really don't choose to claim to be very political because honestly I don't know enough about it, and I think far too often in life and in any other topic we tend to be pretty uneducated about things but express opinions, and I don't think it serves anybody any purpose. Um, I have a pretty simple take on politics that um, may or may not make sense with you guys, but it's just kind of how I look at things. Um, the first thing I would say about it is I think voting strictly on party lines is kind of absurd. We're all individuals, and you get elected based upon your mindset, and I understand you can be categorized as an independent or a Democrat or a Republican, and that kind of tends to share how you think. Um, but at the same time, if there's something that's uh, wrong in your mind, regardless of the fact that they're your party candidate, you can. I'd like to think you'd be an individual first and step up and vote against it. But sometimes your own party condemns you for that, and that's kind of bizarre to me. But here's the real reason that I don't claim to get involved in politics or even really try to understand it. I have a few simple thoughts on it. Um, Politics, in order to be in politics, you need to be elected. In order to be elected, you need to campaign. And here's what again, my biggest pet peeve in life is hypocrisy. And here's what, an example to me would be. Here's how I sum it up. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're running for office, and you have to meet with a group of people that are saying if that factory down the river gets built, the yellow spotted tongue turtle will lose its habitat and perish. Well, look, I like yellow spotted tongue turtles, and I don't want them to perish. So I look at that group and say, well, you know, I'll do everything I can to fight for you. I understand your point, and vote for me, and thank you, and so forth. And then I move down the river 3 or 4 miles. At 11 o'clock, I've got a meeting with a big business, and that business says, well, if you let us build that factory down here, there's going to be 250 new jobs and $2 million in commerce, going into the community. Well, again, I like 200 new jobs and $2 million of commerce going to the community, and so now I got to tell them, well, I really support that. Well, it's kind of hard to support both, right? If you build the factory, you kill the turtles. If you let the turtles live, you possibly lose that business to another county or another state or whatever. So that's a tough, something that the general folks don't really in politics. That is what a politician does. They've got to make decisions. They've got to offend people. And maybe it's just because I like to help people and don't like saying no. Maybe it's because I don't feel like being a hypocrite. Um, but that's what politics is. And as I said in the previous statement, I had a simple platform, not simple, but early in my life, in my voting life, I looked at, I thought people that were pro-life were narrow-minded and not somebody I wanted representing me. I've since changed that, taken that off the table. If you heard my talk on why I at least question the abortion situation now. But the one thing that seems to impact me, and there's no rhyme or reason for it, but I just worry about trying to take care of myself. I don't try to, before this journey away, I'm not trying to change the world or change people's minds or anything like that. I just worry about me. But one thing that always seems to hit me, and I would love for somebody to do some kind of study on it or things like that, is, I fill up my car with gas. I do a lot of driving, probably 3 times a week. And it just seems puzzling to me why 6 months before every election and 6 months after every election, our gas prices are the lowest they'll be in that 4-year term. And then about 6 months in, they just start to skyrocket and climb to, where they're, I don't want to say absurd, they are what they are. And that's just life. But they peak. And then as we get near the next election, I promise you, those gas prices are going to go right back down again. And you can talk to me about supply and demand, and you're probably right. But I would love someone with more time than me and more intelligence than me, baby, to do some kind of research on that. Because again, every time I go to the gas pump, and I started this presidential term, like I started every presidential term, with the gas around 2.25, if I remember correctly, and now it's up to $3 a gallon. And to the common guy who is all I am, that fills his tank up 3 times a week, that's an extra 10, 20, $30 a week that's coming out of my pocket. That wasn't there before, and that's real to me. So like I said, I'm not. I don't talk politics a lot because I'm not educated enough in politics. I choose not to be educated enough in politics. It's just the way it is. I do get a little frustrated when I hear people saying, "Well, they had to vote along party lines to pass a bill." Have a spine and vote the way your heart tells you to vote. That's why you're elected. Um, as far as that goes, so that's just people have asked me, my take on politics, and I just want to share that with you. So, like I said, somehow maybe it gives you perspective. Maybe there's somebody out there that hears what I'm saying and says that might be an interesting study to do and research, gas prices and how they're impacted by the election. So again, guys, I'm 2 weeks out from the journey. It's becoming a bit overwhelming. I had some real bad days last week, roller coaster emotions. Like I said, you're doing reminiscing, trying to make peace with yourself and your family, and I'm a 50-year-old man, and there's a lot of history there, and there's lost loves and gained loves and lost friendships and things I wish I would have done differently as a young man and even as a recent man, and so it's been very insightful. I started off this journey talking about doing it for my kids, and I still am, but it's been amazing kind of how it's been impacting me. Welcome to Luna here, who's just laying down, getting love as though she always is. Do want to give a couple of updates. So a bunch of folks ordered shirts online. The new website is pttjourney.com. You can go on there and kind of see my bio and the countdown to the departure. And one of the things that's come up is you can pay by credit card. I don't see any of the information. It goes to PayPal. But because I'm new, PayPal holds the money for 21 days to make sure there's no scamming involved. That's not my concern. I'm not worried about that. I appreciate the support. What happens is when you order a shirt, they send me an email that says, hey, Mary Johnson just ordered a shirt, and we're holding her money for 21 days. You can go onto the PayPal site and look at the activity, and look at the activity, and so forth. Well, the very first shirt order I got, I didn't get that email, and it included the size. The next several orders I've gotten all give me the person, the shipping address, but it doesn't tell me the size of the shirt. So I was on the phone with PayPal for about 2 hours the other day on hold. They finally called me back, and I was on the phone call, ironically. So that's on my to-do list today, is to try to get that ironed out. In the meantime, to the people that have ordered shirts, I've reached out to you via Messenger and gotten your sizes, and they'll be in the mail today. And so if you happen to know anybody that orders any shirts, if you happen to know anybody that orders any shirts, just know until I get this little kink worked out that I'll be trying to contact you to get your shirt size via your email that you leave on your order form or hopefully Messenger. If you see I haven't reached out to you, reach out to me at the my email account, which you can link up to via the website, or it's pttjourney2018 at gmail.com, and just let me know you ordered a shirt and what size it is. The last thing I want to do is I'm really thankful that you ordered one. I'm thankful for the support. I don't want to have to wait 21 days to see if it shows up on the order before mailing you something you've paid money for. So that's just an update on that. Like I said, 2 weeks to go. I've reached out to a couple of folks, seeing if they might be interested in helping me along the way with some things. So I guess I'll take advantage of put that out there now if people are still listening to this. One of the things that could help me is the local media coverage that has come up has been, really, really helpful and appreciated. A local paper did something on me, a local news station did something on me, and, I realized that that's going to help me spread the word of what I'm doing and what I hope to accomplish. At the same time, it's hard for me to, reach these folks and let them know, that I'm out there and so forth. So, there I go with that and so forth. Good Lord. Then let them know I'm out there. So, I'd like to see if there's folks that are willing, as I go from state to state. I'm going to kind of put my itinerary out 2 weeks at a time to let folks know the general area that I'm expecting to be ending up in after my 20 miles or so. Some days it might be 23 miles, some days it might be 19. I can't stop in the middle of a forest, so I got to get to the next town. But I'm looking to see if there's folks, maybe one in every state, that knows their state a little bit, that might be willing to just email the local papers that I'm going through, even the local news stations. And it doesn't have to be small town stuff. Again, as I get into towns like when I get through Ohio, I'm going to be heading towards Canton. I think right now my first 4 weeks I have mapped out, and it's got me going up some of the bigger towns. Of course, the biggest cities: Pittsburgh, Canton, Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio, I think, or thereabout, or one of the Sanduskys. Not Jerry Sandusky, he's a pedophile. Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then up through Chicago. So again, I'm hoping to see if you have any interest, you have a little free time on your hands, and you don't mind, researching the local papers or the local news stations, and maybe just clipping my email address and maybe my story and saying, hey guys, here's a story that might be of interest to you. If you have any interest, reach out to them. It would really help me a lot, because I think that as the word gets out there and the word spreads, I think as I walk up to people and just kind of tell them who I am and what I'm doing, and try to ask them questions about who they are, who's impacted them, can I crash at your place tonight? I think the cops will be called a lot less if people understand what and why I'm doing it. But again, it's hard to kind of be on the road, answering Facebook, posting pictures, handling family issues, being a friend to my friends, and do that as well. So people have asked how they can help, and there's a way you can help. So if you have any time on your hands, any free time, and any real interest in helping me, there's definitely one way that you guys can help. And as I said, I'm going to try to put my itinerary out there 2 weeks. So, if I can just get one or two people in every state that knows their state a little better, so when I say I'm going to be in this small town, they might know what newspaper covers that small town. They might know what news station, covers that town. So, anyway, guys, thanks for listening again. I love you. My kids are sleeping right now. I have a feeling my son's up and listening. He usually pops up pretty early with me, even though it's only not quite 6 a.m. But have a great day. I did have a couple of nice days yesterday. We went to the movies, took the kids to the movies. When I came out, there was a rainbow. So you look for a little symbolism and things. But we'll talk more about it. Thanks for listening to me. I really appreciate everything. Have a great day, guys.